You're about to hear Cat on a Hot Tin Roof by Tennessee Williams, narrated by Troy W. Hudson. Copyright 2018, BN Publishing Online at bnpublishing.com. The set is the bed-sitting room of a plantation home in the Mississippi Delta. It's along an upstairs gallery which probably runs around the entire house. It has two pairs of very wide doors opening onto the gallery, showing white balustrades against a fair summer sky that fades into dusk and night during the course of the play, which occupies precisely the time of its performance, excepting, of course, the 15 minutes of intermission. Perhaps the style of the room is not what you would expect in the home of the Delta's biggest cotton planter. It's Victorian with a touch of the Far East. It hasn't changed much since it was occupied by the original owners of the place, Jack Straw and Peter Ocello, a pair of old bachelors who shared this room all their lives together. In other words, the room must evoke some ghosts. It's gently and poetically haunted by a relationship that must have involved a tenderness which was uncommon. This may be irrelevant or unnecessary, but I once saw a reproduction of a faded photograph of the veranda of Robert Louis Stevenson's home on that Samoan island where he spent his last years, and there was a quality of tender light on weathered wood, such as porch furniture made of bamboo and wicker, exposed to tropical suns and tropical rains, which came to mind when I thought about the set for this play, bringing also to mind the grace and comfort of light, the reassurance it gives on a late and fair afternoon in summer, the way that no matter what, even dread of death is gently touched and soothed by it. For the set is the background for a play that deals with human extremities of emotions, and it needs that softness behind it. The bathroom door, showing only pale blue tile and silver towel racks, is in one side wall, the hall door in the opposite wall. Two articles of furniture need mention, a big double bed which staging should make a functional part of the set as often as suitable, the surface of which should be slightly raked to make figures on it seen more easily, and against the wall space between the huge double doors upstage, a monumental monstrosity peculiar to our times, a huge console combination of radio phonograph, hi-fi with 3 speakers, TV set, and liquor cabinet, bearing and containing many glasses and bottles, all in one piece, which is a composition of muted silver tones, and the opalescent tones of reflecting glass, a chromatic link, this thing, between the sepia, tawny gold tones of the interior, and the cool white and blue tones of the gallery and sky. This piece of furniture, this monument, is a very complete and compact little shrine to virtually all the comforts and illusions behind which we hide from such things as the characters in the play are faced with. The set should be far less realistic than I have so far implied in this description of it. I think the walls below the ceiling should dissolve mysteriously into air. The set should be roofed by the sky, stars, and moon, suggested by traces of milky pallor as if they were observed through a telescope lens out of focus. Anything else I can think of? Oh yes, fan lights, transoms shaped like an open glass fan above all the doors in the set, with panes of blue and amber, and above all, the designer should take as many pains to give the actors room to move about freely, to show their restlessness, their passion for breaking out, as if it were a set for a ballet. An evening in summer, the action is continuous, with 2 intermissions. Main characters, Margaret, Brick, May, Gooper, Big Mama, Big Daddy, Reverend Tooker, and Dr. Boff. Act 1. At the rise of the curtain, someone is taking a shower in the bathroom, the door of which is half open. A pretty young woman with anxious lines in her face enters the bedroom and crosses to the bathroom door. Margaret, shouting above the roar of water. "One of those no-neck monsters hit me with a hot buttered biscuit, so I have to change." Margaret's voice is both rapid and drawling. In her long speeches, she has the vocal tricks of a priest delivering a liturgical chant. The lines are almost sung, always continuing a little beyond her breath, so she has to gasp for another. Sometimes she intersperses the lines with a little wordless singing, such as da-da-da. Water turns off and Brick calls out to her, but is still unseen. A tone of politely feigned interest, masking indifference or worse, is characteristic of his speech with Margaret. Brick. "What'd you say, Maggie?" "Water was on so loud I couldn't hear."
Sample complete. Ready to continue?